Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I painted my Bloody Valentine Roses. First we start by priming the canvas with gesso. Here I'm using two different kinds. The Dollarani I got from Walmart and the Deco Art I got from Michael's. Michael's Deco Art is a little bit higher quality, but it is what I have left and I mixed them together. I cover my palette with the gesso with plastic wrap and I mush it to make a kind of a bubble in the middle to keep it moist because I need to let this layer dry and then go over it again with another layer of gesso. I turn the canvas around from top to bottom and continue to put on the layer of gesso. So that way the entire canvas has an even layer of gesso. Take a shot every time I say gesso. Now it's time to draw the bloody drips, or you could say the red paint drips. Hello, how you doing? It's me, April. Nice to see you. I am now drawing the roses, checking my reference, blah blah, and here we go. I found the cutest little eraser at Walmart for 50 cents. Look at it, it's so cute with the little round top and the squishy face on top. Well, it's not squishy, but you could squish it if you want to. Anyway, it works really well. I love shopping in the clearance section. How about you? Oh, here I have to wear my platform heels, flip-flops, to make me about 3 inches taller so I can reach the top of the canvas. Because I am 4'11", if you didn't know, and having these little stilts definitely make my life much easier getting around the house and stuff, you know what I'm saying? There will be a total of 4 roses on this canvas, as well as the long stems, thorns, and leaves, but only just a little bit of leaves. Gotta make room for the blood. I wanted these roses to be kind of standing up on their own and a little bit abstracty, surrealism, kind of something different than what I usually do. Here are the colors I will be using. Muted Violet, Ultramarine Blue, Alizarin Crimson, and Nepethal Crimson. I butchered that, but oh well, you know what I mean, right? That's my palette, and the gesso on the back, and I decided to just reuse the same palette. Why not? Save space and materials, and let's get started with the painting. I like to start with the background first, making this side very dark, and the other side will be much lighter. But with a painterly approach, I'm checking the camera every now and then because it keeps cutting out every 30 seconds. So yeah, I'm using my DSLR Canon 70D, which I've had for almost 10 years. And later in the video, I will be using my phone camera because my cute little bunny just wanted to eat up another laptop cord, so I can't freaking upload my footage to my laptop because it won't upload to my desktop because I don't know. Maybe my desktop's too old, but anyway. The new cord will be here soon. This is the slow dry medium for acrylic, and it makes acrylic paint act like oil paint, which I love. I've always loved working with oil paint, but I like how acrylic paint dries much faster. Plus, acrylic paint is cheaper. Snack time! Cereal. I think that's Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Yes. Must always have sustenance in your body while making art. It helps with your brain and blood sugar levels so you don't pass out, especially with me. My blood sugar levels are... Anyway. Let's try some titanium white to go in with this background. Don't mind my head getting in the way. All part of the process. Now I'm making the paint mixture that will be the drippy blood, or drippy red paint. And I use the slow drying medium, water, and paint. White and the crimson I can't pronounce, starts with an N, and the other reds. The muted violet and the alizarin crimson. Just a little bit of each. Mix it up until you get the right consistency. Not too runny. But yes, I realize I need to wear my apron because this might get quite messy. You know what I'm saying? Do I look cute in the apron? Thanks, thank you very much. All right, I think we got the right consistency, at least almost there. There we go. Just a little dab-a-doo, and off we go. It's okay to paint it in at first. Gotta get a little bit more water to get that drippage going on. Yes, that's how I like it. And away we go. Oopsie there. Now that was a happy little accident. I like that it went all the way down. Makes it more dramatic. I don't want the drippage to go all the way down on all of the little streams there, so I lay it flat and let it dry for a couple hours, but in this case overnight. And here you see me with my hair down and looking a little disheveled because somebody was bullying me off the internet, which I'll talk about that in another time. But this time, just be nice to people for crying out loud. Don't know what they're going through. I've been struggling so freaking hard. Ugh, you don't even know. Anyway, but no matter what happens, the show must go on. But back to the tutorial. And with these colors for the leaves. Hooker's green hue. You heard me. What else? Got titanium white, alizarin crimson. Alright, here we go. Let's put that hooker on. Alizarin crimson, and phthalo. No, yeah. No, what the heck? The phthalo green. Whatever. Let's just keep going. So here, I like to start with the mid-tones of the greens, then the shadows, and then lastly, the highlights. I just try to match the colors to my reference, and I add the slow drying medium to help the colors blend better. My slow drying medium was a little runny, so I decided to put it on inside a little cup like this, because I was having on my palette, but it was just too runny. So why not be smart, big brain, and use a cup? So now we're finally painting the roses bloody red, starting with the mid-tones, then I'll go in with the low lights, and then with the highlights. This first rose I painted differently than the other roses. I painted this first rose the hard way, with going over each individual petal. Later you will see me just go over the entire rose in one color because you can still see the pencil outline through the thin wash of paint. So, but if you want to do it this way, please excuse the blurriness. It will get better, especially with the rest of the roses. But actually the footage from my phone looks a lot clearer than the one from my DSLR camera, because I only have two working lenses, and the one I'm working with in this footage is my wide angle lens. Okay, this is actually the footage from my phone. It's called a +1 or 1 plus. I don't know. I'll put the words up, put an image up here. But anyway, here I'm going over with a bigger brush and a light wash of mainly alizarin crimson over all the rest of the three roses. I will repaint those drippy marks, if you were wondering. And I use, where is it? Muted violet for the low lights, the shadows. Later I blend muted violet with ultramarine blue, as well as green, any green, to make an even more contrast, a little bit darker, to make it more contrasty with the shadows. Here with the highlights, I use a very thin liner brush. It's actually for nails, but it works great for this part. It's not pure white. I mix the medium, the mid-tone with the white to get it to be a little bit more natural looking, but also I still want it to be pretty bright to make it a nice contrast. For this third rose, you might see that it looks a bit more red, even though I am using the same colors, but maybe I am using a little more of the, what's it called, the Napathal Crimson, but in comparison with the dark background makes this color look brighter, even though it's the same as the other ones with the white background. If you've ever seen those illusion videos, you'll see like these two colors are the same even though they look so different because they have a different background. But when you put them together, they're the same. Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay, cool. I try to fix this later on to make it look more cohesive, but I don't try too hard. I kind of like it just a little bit different than the other roses. But with each rose, I learned something new about how to paint this and how to paint it easier than the other one. I put more yellow in the first two, especially the first. I didn't want to do that with this third one because I didn't think it looked right, and later I go over the other roses and try to cover up those yellow parts. Now here's a wide shot of the whole painting. I still have one more rose to go. Close up of the details. What do you think so far? Now it's another day and time to unwrap the saved palette. And my slow drying medium has dried into a gross filmy thing. So I gotta put more stuff in there. Yeah. going to add the titanium white with the mid-tone of the roses. I'm using a different brush, not that long liner brush, because I wanted to use this to blend, and I use a thicker dry brush to blend it in even more. With each rose, I am learning new techniques that work the way I want it. Trial and error is always a thing that comes with learning how to paint, which may never end, which is cool. I always love learning new things. Now time for the lowlights. Ultramarine blue, Hooker's green hue. See, look, now it's clear and you know I'm not lying. And this little green. And mix those together to make a low light shadow hue. I think it's very important to get right under the lips of those petals in a very delicate way. You see this time lapse, but I'm taking my time to get the to get the low lights, to get the shadows in the right place, in the right way that I want it, by going right under the lip and then diffusing it, feathering it out with my brush. I come back and paint in the background with more ultramarine blue, and because I wanted to make the roses stand out more, but also trying to keep that painterly effect, that abstractish background. Ooh, time for the thorn. First with a white background because the paints I'm using are a little transparent, so putting the white on and then going over with the greens will make it more opaque. So when in doubt, add white. Are these thorns going to have blood on them? Yes, they are. Thank you for asking. Now time for more drippy drip. And this time, while making some new drip, the old drip for some reason got just way too light. So this is trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. As you see, add in the crimson and the Naples crimson, whatever. The alizarin crimson is the darker red. Oh my god. Seriously, my cheap ass paintbrush broke. What? It's okay, I can put it back together and try again. I'm showing you how long it took because it took a while. But oh my god, seriously, again? Screw you! You know what? At this point, I'm done with that brush and I'm going with a new one that's similar, but not the same, but it still works just the same. Please subscribe, like, and check out the links below. Buy something, buy this painting so I can buy new paintbrushes. Thank you very much for your support. I want to make the red drips look like they're coming from the roses and dripping onto the other roses below. So I have to make sure the streams curve over the petals and the leaves cohesively so it looks more real in 3D. You know what I'm saying? I put in low lights on the right side of the drips, and later you will see me put in highlights on the left side of the drips to make the drips look more 3D, wet, and juicy. Sorry about my head getting in the way. I couldn't cut that part out because it still shows important parts of my painting process. Here I'm putting in more darker shadows to make it more contrast, like I showed you with the top rows. And I will be doing that for a very long time throughout the rest of this painting. But don't worry, it's only a few more minutes long for the rest of this video. This is where I like to get all the details in and be a perfectionist, but also trying not to be too much of a perfectionist, because then I'll never get it done. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know when to quit. So I'm just getting it the way I want to, as close as possible, without it like making me want to punch it in the face. Can you relate? Now it's time to put my signature on the canvas. I usually assign on the right lower hand side, but because there's so much going on the right lower hand side and all this open space on the lower left hand side of the canvas, I decided to put it there. And I didn't want it to stand out too much from the painting, so I made it just a tone darker than that part of the background. And that's how I usually do it with all my paintings. Most of my paintings. I do add more highlights in the lower right hand rows. And now it's time for the dramatic reveal of the finished painting. I got all dolled up for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment below if you learned something new. Please, suggestions, constructive criticism, and all that jazz. And I will see you in the next video. I hope you have a lovely day. See ya!